It's about that time. What's happening in your city? You got love for your city? City views, city views, city views, city views, city views. Oh, city views, city views, city views, city views. Oh, city views, city views, city views, city views. Oh, city views, city views, city views, city views, city views. Oh, city views, city views, city views, city views, city views, city views, city views. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, for another episode of CT Views. That's right, bringing it to you right here from your local cable access Altice Channel 5, especially for all those living in Litchfield County. And if you can catch us live on Facebook and we would really, really appreciate it.
See all our little bloopers, you know.
Yeah. Bloopers are fun, especially nowadays because no one has an attention span. So you can't watch a show for full 45 minutes no more. It's like 5 seconds and boom,
Yep,
on to the next one. So nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Jacque Williams. I am your most gracious host for CT Views, along here with my lovely and talented co-host.
Coryse Coco Villarouel.
And you know, the cocoa is apropos tonight because it's cold in Connecticut,
Listen,
boy.
I'm over the cold. I'm over it.
Man.
I'm ready for it to be done.
Ready for it to be done. It's
Yes.
done in my mind.
Oh,
I'm
my
like,
goodness.
I can't take no more. The other day, you know, with the little ice storm that we had, it was like Crystal City when I went outside, man.
You know, it's beautiful to look at, but to go out there in
you know,
I don't want to.
It's totally.
Looking at it through my bedroom window, you know, it's nice and all, but yeah. But by day 3, by Monday, I think I started having cabin fever, and I was ready to get out the house.
Yeah, it was definitely more like, an observer sport, you know.
Observer sport,
You
for
see
sure.
Nancy Kerrigan going down the street, you know. Wee-hee!
You guys are funny.
So we are celebrating Black History Month this month because
That's right.
it is
and
Black History Month.
We have a special guest for you today. We do have a guest representing Black History Month here, Andre Rochester. But before we bring Andre on, we do have another special guest here with us tonight.
Yes, indeed. That's the way we roll. Because when I get that call, you know, especially if it's Arlene, because it's not like, you know, if she says jump, you know, we don't ask why. We say how high. She said, I got to get on the show, bro, because I'm rolling from Seminario Puisawedo.
From what? Oh,
Si
dear.
se puede.
Oh,
Before we
Jacque.
get to Arlene, let me blast off on our sponsors who are so grateful and thankful for supporting us here, helping us to bring you quality community entertainment each and every week. We want to give a big, huge shout out to our big city sponsors, Toth Insurance Agency, located at 1151 East Main Street, Torrington, Connecticut. Better protection, better value. He can be reached at 860-496-7771 or at Toth, INSOptonline.net. Mel Brickman and Health Markets, located at 16 McDermott Ave, Suite 1, Torrington, Connecticut. Better call Mel. He can be reached at 860-307-1128 or at healthmarkets.com/local-health-INS. Also, the Northwest Connecticut Area Chamber of Commerce. The Chamber of Commerce is the place to be. You can catch him at 59 Field Street, Suite 120 in Torrington, or you can reach him at 860-482-6586. And last but certainly not least, Dr. Michael Curry, located at 30 Peck Road, Suite 2105, Torrington, Connecticut. Pediatric care for over 50 years. He can be reached at 860-482-8177 or at torringtonpediatrics.com. Chamo, you remember Dr. Curry, don't you? we playing ball down at the Y and everything back in the day. He was crazy, man. He had 2 bad knees and would still play, and would kick your butt too.
Wow.
Yeah, he was cool. He was cool. So nonetheless, we're here with Arlene Vega.
Gonzalez.
Yes, and you know, and Arlene, I got to tell you, you made such an impression on our community when you moved here.
Oh,
She didn't kick the doors down. She tore the roof off the sucker.
She came in on a red carpet. She just rolled that out.
No doubt, no doubt.
Right into town, and you know, she's doing things.
Yeah.
She's doing her thing.
And multi-talented, you know, an artist, you know, entrepreneur, real estate agent, and has her name on the marquee in Times Square. So, you know, I can leave the stage now. But no, thank you for joining us on the show tonight, and we're so very happy to help you promote your event that's coming up here this Saturday at the Warner Theater.
Thank you so much for having me, Jacque. You know, it's always a pleasure to be around you. You are amazing, and what you do for the community as well, and you're amazing. So thank you so much for having me. And yeah, we're having a great seminar on Saturday the 22nd. The event starts at 12, and it's going to be at the conference room in the Warner Theater. And it's free. It's a free event to give everyone in Torrington. We're really catering to the Spanish community in regards to how to get pre-approved, how to do your taxes, how to do your credit, how to be able to, you know, end up purchasing a home, how to become an investor. And the funny thing is that everybody who was called to register for the event, 90% have been women.
Wow.
Women.
Yeah.
And I'm very excited because, yes, I'm excited because I love to motivate people. And me and my husband, Chamo, we motivate people a lot. And coming to Torrington, it changed me in a lot of ways. I'm originally from New York. I have my brokerage, the Gonzalez Property Group, in 260 Madison Avenue. And I opened up my brokerage here in Torrington, and I love it. I'm also a broker in Florida. So we do a lot of different things. We do a lot of different services for the community.
And pretty soon a broker overseas as well?
We are actually, we work with developers in Dubai and Dominican Republic. So we have a few things we're working on, yes.
Very nice.
Yeah, man, she's made us all jealous and stuff. Her and Chamo on their honeymoon up in Dubai, sending back all kinds of IGs and PGs and DGs.
PGs.
Hanging out with the BGs. I was like, man.
On yachts and, you know.
Yeah, like it was nothing. Like lifestyles of the rich and famous are tasting and everything.
Lifestyles, yep.
You have to do it.
I'm just saying, you know.
Living life. I mean, they were living life, enjoying it, right?
And then Chamo was like, maybe we should stay.
I did see that.
Yeah.
We'll be back.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
All right. No, that's just a demonstration of, you know, your success and your hard work. You're so driven.
No.
And that's what has always impressed me about you.
Thank you.
And I think that
your determination too, like you don't just, you know, try to just hit this one marker and that's it. Like there's no ceiling for you. You break through the ceiling and you want to go for it all. And the way you approach it and go for it is very admirable.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that coming from another woman that does a lot for the community, and you've done amazing. So thank you. It's not easy, you know, and my thing is when something's hard, I try to figure out how to overcome that and get it done instead of saying, okay, this is hard, forget it. I'm just going to put it to the side. I'm not going to do it. I think for me, the best part is the challenge and the process of how to get it done. And then after I get it done, I'm like, okay, what's next? So even before I get it done, I'm already thinking of what's next. So I have no other choice but to get it done. And that's how I think in my mind. And the reason I married Chamo is because we think alike. We think so alike in that sense that we help each other and we push each other. Like with the seminar, once I opened up the brokerage, I had a lot of Hispanics coming into the firm, and they just didn't know what to do or how to start. And I said, okay, you know what? I'm just going to do a seminar to explain to them that you can become investors. What is it that everybody else is doing that you're not doing the right way? Some of them are not doing their credit the right way. I mean, they're not, you know, they're buying things they shouldn't, you know, or they're not doing their taxes the right way. So just helping them from A to Z helps me, you know, kind of understand where everybody's at. And I think that a lot of people lack that knowledge of how to be financially free. And that's where I come to motivate and explain to you, because I had to learn it on my own. They don't teach you this in school.
No, they don't.
So for me, I'm doing the seminar for the Hispanics right now, but we're doing another seminar in another month for everyone as well, because I want the community to understand that we're here to give knowledge, not only to come and sell you properties. No, we want you guys to learn that you can do the same thing others do.
Right.
I think it's notable too, and just to give some props to your husband, Chamo Vega, who's been a long-time resident here in Torrington. It's funny because I've known Chamo for almost 25 years, I think I'd say now.
I probably have known him longer.
That's true.
From high school days.
Yeah, that's true.
We went to high school together.
That's true.
Yeah.
And it's remarkable to see, even being the positive person that Chamo is. When he met you, man, he took it to a whole nother gear, man. Yep. He was like Speedy Gonzalez. I got it together now. And it's remarkable to see, how...
to see you guys as a power couple.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah,
you
complement each other very well,
Thank you.
And another demonstration of your your business acumen. You talked about taking things from one level to the next level. If you don't mind me bringing this up, but you just came to Water Street, right next to our local community radio station, WAPJ. Had a great ribbon cutting. Had a lot of people there, community contacts, doing well. The place is looking fresh. And then Arlene, the light bulb goes off, and she says, "I gotta take it to another level." So what does she do? She buys the freaking space across the street. I'm like, now if that's not a gangster entrepreneur move, I don't know what is. I'm like, I couldn't even right, because I was just like, you did what? But that's the way you do it.
Yeah.
And congratulations.
Thank you. I love the building. And it's on Water Street. It's a beautiful historical building. The funny thing is that when me and Chamo started dating, we would drive down Water, and he'll be like, "Look at that building. Aren't those windows beautiful?" And I'm like, "That is a beautiful building." And now we own it.
Oh, very nice.
And I'm very excited to have been able to do that, and how smooth the transaction was. I'm a firm believer that when it's meant for you, it's meant for you. And God just blesses you when it's for you. When it's harder than you think, then it might not be for you. But this was just an easy transaction, and it went smooth. And it's exciting. It's exciting. It's a new venture.
So while we still have a little time before you have to make another engagement, please fill us in one more time on the Senominero Si Se Puede.
Si Se Puede.
Si Se Puede.
I'm
Yes,
trying.
you
I'm
can.
trying.
Yes, you
can.
So this seminar is called Si Se Puede. It's at the Time Warner. It's in the conference room, and they're actually going to put it on the marquee. So you're going to see the Gonzalez Property Group presents Si Se Puede.
Cool.
And we're going to have Sean Sproul, which is, they call him the loan doctor. He is amazing. 25 years of doing mortgages. I've been working with him for over probably 10 years now. He's amazing. He's with Nationwide. Then we also have Fabian Durango. He does all of anything that's deals with insurance for properties, for businesses, car insurance, everything. He's amazing in the Spanish community as well. Then we have Diana Martinez, who is, I think, the most amazing accountant I have come across, because she is helping me out a lot. So I recommend her highly to anyone who needs to do their taxes or get their business up and running. And myself, of course, and I will be there speaking and motivating and letting the community know we're here and we're here to stay and we're here to help everyone. And it's from 12 to 3, February 22nd, again in the conference room in the Warner Theater. We'll have hors d'oeuvres and refreshments, and it's free. So there's no excuse not to come. And there's going to be a lot of great people there. So come meet us, and we're here to help.
Where exactly is the conference room?
So when you get to the Warner, you're going to go to the left. It used to be a jewelry store.
Okay,
right
so
there.
that the event space.
Yes.
With all glass in the front.
Yes, that's where it's going to be.
You can't miss it.
You can't miss it. You're going to see a red carpet there and everything. It's going to be nice, so you won't be able to miss it.
You're going to see me up in the hizzy boy doing the crip walk. No.
If you haven't been to her office space, the Gonzalez Property Group on Water Street, if she's going to decorate it like she decorated this space, I mean, It looks like something straight out of a magazine.
It's going to be crazy.
You know, I'm looking forward to coming to this event.
But do you want to know the story behind the design of that office?
Yes.
That was all Chamo.
That was all Chamo.
That was all Chamo.
Hidden talents over there.
Yeah, so I told him I wanted reds and I wanted gold. I want Fifth Avenue look, and he went off. I wasn't even around. I was in Florida conducting business.
Really?
And when I come back, I'm like, oh, yes.
Will you marry me?
Absolutely.
Right then and there.
Yeah, I was across the street and heard the
wedding
murmurs.
bells?
It was like, I feel the earth move under my feet.
I love you guys. You guys are too much.
No, but I'm serious, man. It was like, you know, when that place was finished, man, it was like, man,
Beautiful.
at night when you drive down Water Street,
You see that.
it just lights up like that. So,
and I want to give thanks to Steve Timkins. I mean, I appreciate him so much. He believes in everything I'm doing. He's such an amazing person, advocate to the community. I want to thank everyone who's been part of this journey. And just being here is amazing. I love Torrington. I'm from New York, but I love Torrington.
Torrington downtown partner Steve Timken and the crew doing it like they can't do it no more.
You know, people leave the city and come to Torrington to slow down. And
yeah, that's why.
That's quite the opposite of what you've done. You have like taken full speed and like steam train and just, you know.
Well, I feel like I came with that New York mentality, and when I saw this town, I said, "Oh, we're gonna do something here.
Nice.
Definitely gonna just do
And
something
you're
big."
shaking it up. You're shaking it up, and you're doing
her
things
pictures
to make it
up
better.
everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I know her.
I walk by a property for sale. I'm like, oh, there's Arlene.
Yeah, it's been great, and I thank everyone, just the community and everybody who's believed in me and selling their properties. The process, because the process is not an easy process. There's a lot that goes with it. You're dealing with a lot of people's emotions, so you have to become. You become the realtor, because I'm a broker, but you also become the counselor, the psychiatrist, psychologist. You deal with a lot of people. I have people calling me at 10:30 at night sometimes about their deals. So it's 24/7, but I just keep going. We just keep going. And I have 14 agents in New York. I have 2 agents here in Connecticut, and 4 are actually taking their exam to join the brokerage. So I help also people who want to get into real estate. I help them get the training they need and explain to them, have them come to the office and train them. Once they pass their test, they join the brokerage.
Very nice.
Well, somebody's taking care of business.
Taking care of business.
Every day.
Every day.
So Arlene, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Coming to the show. It's a pleasure having you here.
Thank
and
you,
you
thank
guys
you.
are always invited back. And we'll look forward to some more collaborations with you for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely.
And anyone who's interested in going to the seminar, please give us a call at 718-650-0292 or reach us out on Facebook. Let us know, because it's limited seating, and I don't want it to, you know, you're not able to sit. So
Don't want you to miss it.
Yeah, so give us a call, and we'll see you all there. Thank you so much, and have a blessed day, guys.
Thank you.
so much.
All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us right here on CT Views. Coryse,
Yes.
in recognition of Black History Month, we wanted to highlight those artists, those stakeholders,
People in
those
Connecticut doing the thing,
entrepreneurs, you know, making it happen. And
Making it happen. And I stumbled upon Andre. I shouldn't say stumbled. Andre and I have actually been LinkedIn friends for a few years. I tend to follow a lot of artists and other people art-centered, like myself. So I'd like to introduce Andre Rochester. He's a fine artist, curator, and arts advocate. His work makes statements for which words may not be enough. He uses his art as a tool for healing and a catalyst for connection, letting people know that they are not alone. He's a program manager at 224 EcoSpace, a curator at Yukon Health, and coaches emerging artists. Welcome, Andre.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate you reaching out and inviting me to do the show. It's not that often I get out to Torrington, so
I know.
it's
I was
nice
like,
to
go
be somewhere a
boy.
little different. You know?
we trying to connect with the rest of the state. You know, it's
we
like
certainly are.
you know, hello up here. You know,
We're over here.
yeah, we
I was
exist.
hoping that when I pitched it to him, and then, you know, I slowly said Torrington. You know, I was hoping he wouldn't say like, "Oh my God, where?"
Opportunity lies
Hey, look, I don't
in
mind
the
taking
great
a little
Northwest.
drive. It's
Yes.
okay.
It's a beautiful drive
Oh,
out
yeah.
this way.
Yeah, yeah. had a nice little drive up that mountain.
Over Avon Mountain.
Yeah.
So Andre, I think the last thing I saw on LinkedIn, you procured some art for UConn Health. Please tell us more about that.
So that was a really cool project. What I did was basically curate a new unit that they have at UConn Health Center. The New England Sickle Cell Institute and Connecticut Blood Disorder Center. I hope I got the full name right because it's kind of long.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did that.
So the members of the team asked me, the leadership team, they asked me to help them with selecting the artwork for the space. And rather than go through a firm that would, provide, a basic artwork package like for offices and things like that, I said, well, I'm an artist. I have access to the artist community. We're going to go straight to the artists because I believe in putting money directly in artists' pockets because I'm one of those people who would prefer that, right? And so I went online and I did a search myself and found artists who would basically fit the description of what they were looking for. Some of these artists have already shown at UConn Health Center. Some of them I've never met before. And this was an opportunity to engage the full artist community throughout the state to have their artwork purchased by a state institution and go on display in an area that is dedicated to helping people feel better. Healing, right?
Yeah.
And so I started my search. We did 2 proposals, actually it's more like 3 proposals of art selections, and we narrowed it down to about 6 people. And we were able to, nicely decorate the space with artwork that not only was diverse in style, but also diverse in background, which was very important. So you have artists from all kinds of communities, and then you also have some of the artists who have a personal connection to the work that they do in that unit, which was really special. I didn't find this out until we selected them. Wow. They didn't automatically, share this information, right? So I made my proposal to them, and we got a nice selection. We're actually waiting on a few more pieces before we finish the full installation, but they had the ribbon cutting a couple weeks ago, and that place was packed. There had to have been like 500 people who showed up for like the ribbon cutting event and the reception that followed, and it was really beautiful to see how many lives they've touched in that space. This isn't a new unit in that it's new to the hospital. They moved from one area to the next. This next area was specifically renovated for them. It was pretty much a new build out. And they worked with an architect to design a space. The selection of the colors and furniture and all that doesn't even make it feel like a hospital when you walk into this space. I hope that they use this Sickle Cell Institute as a benchmark for other hospital units, because it really feels different when you walk in there.
Right, and I think that's what I was going to touch on. Like, why is it important that hospitals have artwork throughout, the floors or the wings, and basically is when someone who's sick or going through a lot walks in a building, you want them to just have a different feeling of just this depressed, like white walls and
Well, the last thing I want when I'm in a hospital is a reminder of my pain.
Right.
The point of art is to distract you from that and to keep your mind on something else, even if it's just for a moment, even if it's just in passing. You are no longer thinking about the reason that you're there, right? There's that part. The type of imagery that you select in a hospital, now there's some people who are going to argue against this. I feel that the work should be colorful and vibrant and uplifting and not boring, right? Because, like I said, it's supposed to distract you from the pain that you're there to deal with, whether you're visiting somebody or you're a patient yourself, or for whatever reason that you're there. The point in artwork is to shift an atmosphere and create a certain environment. If you're going to create an environment that's conducive to healing, you should not put reminders up about what those folks are going through. You should give them somewhere to go.
Somewhere to escape. Somewhere
to escape, exactly. And we have some landscapes, we have some abstract pieces in this space, we have some portraiture. We've got paintings, we have drawings, we have prints, we have one piece that's a collage, which is really cool. And so there's this wide variety of work. Now, that's one part of what I do at UConn Health. Being the art curator, I'm in charge of a collection of over 2,500 works of art.
Wow.
That has been built up since 1979. So
really?
I'm not, I'm not doing anything that's brand new here,
You're
right?
a historian now.
Yeah, in some cases, yeah.
Yeah.
So for this collection to have been around for so long, it shows that there was already some understanding about the power of art and its connection to health and wellness, even in that time, right? And it started with Celeste LeWitt, who was a cousin of Saul LeWitt, world-renowned contemporary conceptual artist from Hartford, Connecticut, by the way.
Okay.
His legacy in the art industry is just it's phenomenal. This guy is synonymous with conceptual art. And so Celeste, through her own network and through Saul LeWitt's network, she sent out an appeal to the who's who in the arts industry throughout the state, and she was able to get artwork donated that was museum quality. We have world famous artists like Saul LeWitt or Frank Stella. We have hobbyists, we have employees, we got people who are professional artists who just do this for a living, and this is just the thing that they do. We have a little bit of everybody represented within this collection of over 2,500 works.
Wow.
And then to make it even better, we now have 2 gallery spaces. We have the Celeste LeWitt Gallery, where we show local artists 2 at a time, every quarter. They get a show, and we showcase everything from photography to oil paintings to drawing, etc. You name it. If it goes on a wall, we'll probably show it. And then we have another space, the Connector Gallery, which I established myself. I'm very proud of this. It's a wall that I was given permission to use for one thing, and then they just kind of kept letting me use it. So it's the Connector Gallery until they tell me I can't do it anymore. That space is employee art shows or health and wellness themed art shows only. And so far, the employee art shows have been a really good initiative. It's something that people really latched onto, they look forward to, and I love to see how well received it's been.
What you're saying, I'm so digging, and it's fascinating. But let us take a quick shout out to our sponsors, and then we want to talk a little bit more about your projects. We want to give a big city shout out to our sponsors and thank them for their support, for helping us bring you quality community broadcasting each and every week right here from your local channel, Altice 5. Want to get a big, huge shout out to Toth Insurance Agency, located 1151 East Main Street, Torrington, Connecticut. Better protection, better value. They can be reached at 860-496-7771 or at tothins at optonline.net. Mel Brickman and Health Markets, located at 16 McDermott Avenue, Suite 1 in Torrington, Connecticut. You better call Mel. He can be reached at 860-307-1128 or at healthmarkets.com/local-health-ins. Or the Northwest Connecticut Area Chamber of Commerce, located at 59 Field Street, Suite 120. The Chamber is the place to be. They can be reached at 860-482-6586. And last but certainly not least, Dr. Michael Curry, located at 30 Peck Road, Suite 2105, Torrington, Connecticut, Pediatric Care for over 150 years. He can be reached at 860-482-8177 or at torringtonpediatrics.com. And we're here right now with Andre Rochester. And let me tell you, this dude is rocking, okay? He gets it. He understands it. The power of art, the transformative power of art, is still somewhat of an undervalued quality in our culture, in our society, and understanding how to connect the art with the end user is becoming more and more sophisticated and innovative as we move forward in experimenting how art can actually affect the physiological being. So you were just tell us about the the project that you have with Yale,
UConn.
and Yale, and your other projects, to me are fascinating because getting a lyrical concept and then being able to put a visual with that, to me, has to be one of those self edifying aspirations, because it allows you to explore what you normally wouldn't get if you were just focused on one of those other channels of expression. Talk to us a little bit about how you make that connection and the processes that you use to bring forth that final product.
So just one correction. I only work for UConn.
I'm sorry.
I don't mind consulting for other places, but don't get me in trouble, brother. But yeah, from concept to creation.
Yes.
Right. That was your question. It begins with inspiration, and I find that in a number of different things. It could be people I interact with. It could be things that I'm personally going through. It could be something I saw on the news, right? Lately, there's a lot of inspiration there.
A lot on the news.
I try my hardest to ensure that my artwork is not only relevant, but relative to things that matter to me personally, because I can't be authentic if I'm not feeling it, right?
Yep.
Fake the funk on the dump.
Yeah, like if it doesn't move me emotionally and sometimes spiritually, there's no need for me to even do it. I prefer to truly create artwork that connects people and shows them that we are in this together, whatever this may be in that moment. And it's about creating remember I said shifting atmospheres through artwork, right? It's what can I do to create a certain atmosphere that is conducive to productive discussion and hopefully action that comes from that. So let's say there's a lot of doom and gloom on the news, right? Maybe injecting a little happiness might work to one, uplift people's spirits, but to get people to think about, well, there's a lot of stuff happening, but that's not going to take my joy.
Right.
I'm going to hold on to that tightly.
Right.
And we think about, well, what does make us happy, and how do we allow ourselves the autonomy to continue in that direction of that which makes us happy. I may take a personal experience of having overcome a certain struggle, right? I may have, I may have an issue that I've gone through with anxiety and depression. I'm going to illustrate that process of getting past it. It may not look specifically like me going through it, right? I'm going to take depictions of just people in general, and I'm going to pull the emotion out and show that first, because that's how you connect people. You get them to see something, right? In seeing that thing, in seeing that image that I've created, they're going to feel something. You see it, you feel it, you think about it. There's somebody near you that's probably having this shared experience with you. Hopefully you're not alone in the gallery. I like to think that my work is that good, right? So you have other people with you, and you're having this shared experience, and now you can discuss it. And that dialogue leads to action, hopefully some kind of change, some kind of progress, some kind of growth, enlightenment perhaps, because there are going to be other people in the room who may not share the same opinion that you do, or they may not have engaged the piece the same way, but you're going to come together. There's a connection being formed there, even if it's just for that moment. But you're going to leave with something. And so coming up with the concept, it begins with that inspiration, and now how do I use that inspiration to do something more than make a pretty picture? I'm not here for pretty pictures. Life is short. So everything I do is with purpose. It may not look like something that's profound, and it doesn't have to be, but there's always purpose in the image that I'm presenting to my audience.
I think that part of that artistic endeavor is to make that meaningful connection. And I've often spoke with people, especially in terms of social justice. And I think it's becoming more and more obvious that the artistic endeavor is another tool that we have in that toolbox to address these social justice issues. And just as you're referring to in terms of how we would relate to the news, and that aspect of our value system that connects with those social justice issues could be that inspiration point that you're referring to in that creation process. I'm sure you would find that somewhat cathartic in a way.
Yeah. Social justice is not something that I'm unfamiliar with. I had a piece that was very popular because it was a matter of social justice that you know, I was inspired by and moved to make a very loud statement about. And what I used art for initially was to express my own feelings and to you know, exhale.
Right. And how old were you when you started using art as an expression?
Oh, I was a kid. My dad brought me my first sketchbook when I was 7, and you know, fast forward a couple years
You mean
after that.
sketchbook like Etch-a-Sketch?
No.
I mean like an actual like paper.
Blank pages.
I was gonna say
Blank pages.
because I had an Etch-a-Sketch and I didn't make no artist. What happened to me?
Yeah. So,
Wow.
so you know, fast forward a few years, it turned into something that became a tool for coping with a very tough time in my life. My mother was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis when I was 10 years old, and my life shifted drastically over the next 6 years. And she passed away due to difficulties with the disease when I was
Sorry to
16.
hear that.
Thank you. And during that time, however, art developed into a talent because I was using it as a tool to get through and to cope and to you know, kind of manage all these emotions that I'm dealing with, right? Becoming a teenager and dealing with those, you know, those changes and
That's a whole other chapter
right.
on its own, but
that's a whole lecture on that, right? But dealing with this very tough situation that I had before me and you know, needing an outlet, art became that. And so that was the first time that I started to use art as a tool rather than just a thing that I did.
Now, so I'm sorry. So this past Friday, I'm an artist, but more of I'm a dancer, and I use my dance, and you know, I attend Trinidad Carnival, and I just love watching the creations of the costumes. So I've developed this workshop called Coco's Caribbean Connection, and we did an event down at New Haven Library this past Friday for teens, where my dancers did a dance, the carnival dance, and then each person got to create a carnival headpiece.
Oh, wow.
And I think one of the most satisfying responses I had from one of the teens, this boy, he said to me, he was having an art block for a couple weeks, and this helped him break through. So talk to us about you coaching emerging artists.
So there's two things that I do with that. So there's the Artists of Color Accelerate Fellowship, which is a program that I officially run in Greater Hartford. We take 10 artists from the Greater Hartford region, and we match them with 10 organizations, 10 arts organizations in the region, and we get them to collaborate with one another. In that process, they receive entrepreneurial training. They also attend master classes with various people across the spectrum of the arts. This is a multidisciplinary group. So we have dancers, we have writers, we have visual artists, etc. We have a culinary artist actually in our group this year. And so we get them to go through the training. We get them to collaborate with the organizations, and it's about opening doors and building relationships. Throughout that process, there's some coaching that has to happen. So I'm there as a resource to help them with whatever questions they may have. If they have a project idea that's outside of the fellowship, they're more than welcome to contact me, and so I make myself available. The other part of coaching that I do, which has been unofficial until last year, is from time to time there are artists who will reach out to me and they have all kinds of questions about, you know, whatever. Like, it could be art business, it could be an art concept, a number of different things. And I find myself having these long conversations with artists about just, you know, where they want to go and what they want to do. And I've begun to realize that, you know, this is something that is needed, and this is the type of support that I didn't always have. And so now here's an opportunity for me to step in and, you know, provide mentorship to some and formal coaching to others for a fee, because my time is valuable, and I have a family at home. So, you know, there needs to be some compensation. It got to a point where I was spending a lot more time than I should have in these conversations, and you know, spending less time in my studio and at home with my family. So for those who want to invest in themselves and seek out coaching, they can. However, I'm going to give everybody a cheat code. Artists, I don't really want your money. What I want you to do is get a group together, talk to an arts organization, have the organization hire me to come to a workshop. You get me for free.
Right.
Let some grant pay me,
Right.
Right.
I don't really want to take money from my fellow artists. What I would like them to do is have me come in to an organization, speak to them as a group. The same info that I would share one-on-one, I'd probably share with a group of 10 to 12 people, and there's no need to pay. All you have to do is invest your time. Show up, right? We have our conversation. You get your questions answered. I can provide you with information about different resources that may be of help to you. And I still get compensated for my time and the labor that goes into preparing myself to do this. So that's the cheat code, and that's the coaching, and then there's other consulting work that I do, like helping people develop programs and public arts projects. I do some of that work, and speaking engagements. So, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, the man with the plan. He's here today in the studio. And we're so glad to have him, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, we are.
Andre Rochester.
Andre, tell us, where can someone reach out to you or see your artwork or come to your studio or find out more about you?
So I have a home studio, so I don't really have a lot of people coming to visit. You know, that's my house. But you can see me online. My Instagram is Dre Painting. That's DRE letter B, PAINTIN. It's also the same on Blue Sky. It's the same on Fanbase. You can find me on LinkedIn under my name, Andre E. Rochester, Senior, by the way. And you can find me at andrerochester.com. That is my website. If you're interested in my consulting work, it's rochestercoaching.com. Or if you feel adventurous and you got some time this weekend, February 21st to the 23rd, I'm going to be in New York City in Midtown Manhattan at the Harlem Fine Arts Show, showcasing my work and hopefully selling my work at the same time. And it's going to be a great event. There's about 100 artists in this event, and over 10,000 people attend this thing.
We'll have to let
annually.
one of our members, what's her name? Anaya, no, because she's going to be in New York this weekend, I believe.
Wonderful.
She's also an artist.
Wonderful.
So we'll have to let Anaya know.
That'd be a great connection.
Yeah.
Well, we're not quite finished yet. We're going to come back and talk a little more with Mr. Rochester. But I think Pascal has some more advice she might want to give to you first-time home buyers out there. You guys stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Goals on your list is selling your house and making a move this year. You're likely juggling a mix of excitement about what's ahead and feeling a little sentimental about your current home. A great way to balance those emotions and make sure you're confident in your decision is to keep these 3 best practices in mind when you're ready to sell. 1, price your home right. The housing market shifted in 2023 as mortgage rates rose and home price appreciation started to normalize once again. As a seller, you still need to remember how important it is to price your house appropriately based on where the market is today. Hannah Jones, economic research analyst for Realtor.com, explains. Sellers need to become familiar with their local market and work closely with a local agent to make sure their listing is attractive to buyers. Buyers feeling the pressure of affordability are likely to be pickier, so a well-priced, well-maintained home is the ticket to drumming up big demand. If you price your house too high, you run the risk of discouraging buyers. And if you go too low, you're leaving money on the table. An experienced real estate agent can help determine what your ideal asking price should be so your house moves quickly and for top dollar. 2, keep your emotions in check. Today, homeowners are staying in their houses longer than they used to. According to the National Association of Realtors, since 1985, the average time a homeowner has owned their home has increased from 6 to 10 years. This is much more than what used to be the norm. The side effect, however, is when you stay in one place for so long, you may get even more emotionally attached to your space. If it's the first home you bought or the house where your loved ones grew up, it's very likely it means something extra special to you. Every room has memories, and it's hard to detach from the sentimental value. For some homeowners, that makes it even tougher to separate the emotional value of the house from fair market price. That's why you need a real estate professional to help you with the negotiations and the best pricing strategy along the way. Trust the professionals who have your best interests in mind. 3, stage your home properly. While you may love your decor and how you've customized your house over the years, not all buyers will feel the same way about your vibe. That's why it's so important to make sure you focus on your home's first impression so it appeals to as many buyers as possible. Buyers want to be able to picture themselves in the home. They need to see themselves inside with their furniture and keepsakes, not your pictures and decorations. As Jessica Lotz, Deputy Chief Economist and Vice President of Research at NAR says, buyers want to easily envision themselves within a new home, and home staging is a way to showcase the property in its best light. The bottom line is, if you're considering selling your house, let's connect so you have help navigating the process while prioritizing these must-dos.
Pascal Nejame delivering the 411, yo. All you first-time home buyers, or if you're just in the market, you might want to, jot down a tip or two, because you never know.
Yeah.
Okay?
I mean, we have some great realtors and that we work with, or that we know, or brokers that we know.
Very successful.
Yeah, between Arlene, Pascal, I mean.
Yep.
Yeah.
And speaking of success, we have Mr. Arthur Rochester here Andre Rochester here with us this evening, and Coryse booked him on the show, and I noticed when I was coming in and saw Mr. Rochester, something struck me. I just couldn't quite put my finger on it. It's something about this man,
this chap,
this old dude that so. While we were off stage, Coryse was talking about one of our fine art exhibits here in the northwest corner, 5 Points Art Center. And come to find out, your work has performed there. And I looked and I'm like, now I know where
his face is right up on their wall.
Now I know where I saw him from.
Yeah, talk to us about that.
Yeah,
like what?
So I was honored last year with the 2024 Connecticut Governor's Arts Award. I was one of 4 recipients, and I gotta say, it came to me as a surprise.
Yeah.
I was on vacation when I found out in like I think it was June of last year when I saw the email. I'm in Jamaica at the pool, and something said, check your phone. So I look at my phone, I look at my email, and I see this message saying that I'm a nominee, and it blew my mind.
Right. Wow.
It blew my mind. I was already having a great time at the pool. But that right there, instant celebration mode,
right.
But it's truly a tremendous honor. I mean, it really is like the highest honor you can get as an artist from the state.
The state that you're in. Yeah.
It doesn't get much higher than that. Maybe at the federal level, of course, but yeah, like that was just that was something that made my year to receive that. And it was a very nice event. I had an opportunity to meet some really cool people that night, and had some of my work on display. And it was a great event. And 5 Points Art Center is a beautiful space.
Yes, it is.
I gotta say it. That like what they did with the old UConn campus.
With the old UConn, right?
The little bit that I saw that night, like I was blown away by some of these art rooms, and they had my display in the print shop there, and I'm like, wow, this is bringing me back to college, like where I used to spend all-nighters in the print shop doing stuff for class. Like I just there was like an instant connection with that space when I went there for the event, and I would love to come back and do some stuff with them.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure that is going to be in play.
Yeah, we definitely would like to see that happen. Yeah. One last question I have for you is, how would you categorize your artwork, or would you even categorize your artwork? Would it fit into one category of
I wouldn't necessarily,
of styles?
I wouldn't necessarily put a genre on my work. I would just say I'm contemporary.
Okay.
Because contemporary can mean a lot of different things, right? The main meaning being of the times that we're in, right? I don't feel like I fit into like any specific movements of art. I'm an artist. I mean, I create. I may change my style up tomorrow.
Right.
You never know. But for the time being, I would just say that I'm a contemporary artist who is inspired by a number of different movements within art history and currently.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have to say, I took art history at UConn, and I took it because I wanted to take the trips to the Met and whatnot. And then I quickly dropped out when they said, you have to memorize 200 slides for the test. And I was like, oh, what? They started showing the slides, and I'm like, no, not for me. I love them. I love art. Degas is one of my favorite artists because, of course, he painted ballerinas, and I'm a ballerina. So,
You want to see some cool Degas? Go to the Hillstead Museum.
Yeah?
This blew my mind. So you go into Hillstead, and it's a home.
Yeah.
You go to the Hillstead, and you see artwork like just as it's meant to be seen, first of all. I walked in there, I had a tour, and we're in like this dining area, and there's a Degas over the mantle, and I think it's like polo players or something like that.
Okay.
I was looking at it, it blew my mind. I said, is that a Degas? And the lady was like, yeah. She didn't bite the eye or nothing. And then you go around the corner into this other room, and then you have Monet's Haystack series. I think it's like 4 or 5 of those pieces, and then some other early Monet work that doesn't look like the Impressionist stuff. And I'm sitting there like you know how much this is worth? Like I'm aware of what these things auction for.
Wow.
And to see art as it was intended to be enjoyed in the time that it was created was a really nice experience, because I'm used to seeing it in the traditional museum, but seeing how it is in a living space gives you a different appreciation for the work. So check out the Degas and the Monets and et cetera.
Well, here's another twist on that, or just like a segue into that is this last summer. So I'm also an actor, and last summer we filmed a Degas movie.
Really?
And what's his name? Angelica Houston's brother plays Degas. And it was filmed at Hills. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
It was filmed right
I have
there.
to look out for that.
and you have to look out for it. It's going to be an amazing movie. You know, they dressed me up in the period pieces, and it was amazing. And
Cool.
the scenes we did was coming on the boat from France with him, where we all were down in the bottom of the boat. But it was just amazing, and I was like, he's my favorite artist. I can't believe I'm even doing this movie. But,
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
Well, before we call it a night, we want to make sure that we get our T-Town shout-outs in to Don's Getaway, 24 Winstead Road, Torrington, Connecticut. Christie's Restaurant, 545 Winstead Road, Torrington, Connecticut. Health Insurance Services, 438 Main Street, Torrington, Connecticut. Wall and Fruenhofer, 117 Main Street, Torrington. SOL, Soul Latina Cafe, 31 Hungerford Street, Torrington. Jimmy's Store, located at 1238 East Main Street, Torrington, Connecticut. 5 Points Art Center at 855 University Drive. And George's Music, 905 New Harrington Road in Torrington. Thank you for your support for City Views. I can't tell you how much of a learning experience this has been for us here.
It's been amazing.
This evening.
Thank you for having me.
This is very cool, and we definitely want to reconnect with you because we like to promote artists whenever we have the opportunity to, and I think people would definitely gain from checking you out. So thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
And ladies and gentlemen, you know the dealio. We'll be right back here next week, bringing it to you with the best of what Connecticut has to offer right here from CT Views. On behalf of my lovely co-host, Coryse Villarouel, good night.
Bye.
Take care.
See